Jelmer here. In this video I'm going to show you how to make a very basic storage rack using 2x4s, plywood and Rietveld connections. And you can adjust this based on where you want to place this rack. Now in our case I want to place this rack next to the fridge to create a storage solution for bags and cartons of milk. So we're going to take a look at the existing situation before we start. Now, as you can see right now it's a bit of a messy corner, so I want to change that, and the idea is the following. I want there to be a bit of space from the ground up, so maybe like 20 centimeters off the ground. Then I want to have like a space that is as high as 2 of those cartons of milk, and then on top of that I want to make another space that can store up to 4 cartons of milk. Now, and I'll turn it to the side because I think that's gonna be the more logical side. So this size right here until here is 37 centimeters. So I'll make this like 40 to round it off a little bit. The width here is 20. So if I just make a square of 40 by 40, that should be good for the top level. So I did some figuring out just now, and I had a plan in mind, and then I was like looking at the actual situation and the material that I have, and then I turn it around a little bit. Like I like to use what I have available, and I have a lot of scrap wood, and that's what I prefer to use. So that's what I was looking at, and also at the available space and what would make a strong structure. So all those things I took into consideration. So let's take a look at the available scrap wood. So I have approximately half a length of 2x4 available. That's okay because I want to cut out 2 lengths of 80 centimeters, and I can easily take that from this half length of 2x4. Looks a bit rough, but I will sand everything so it will come out just alright. Now, besides that, I have some leftover plywood. This is a part of a piece of plywood that was cut in half in its length. So I want to use what's left over completely. So this length, it's 61 centimeters or exactly 2 feet. So that's going to be the width of the storage rack, and yeah, for the depth I'm gonna stick to 40 centimeters, and it's a long piece, so you can see that I can easily get it out of this. Now I'm gonna start with the skeleton, and after that I will cut the plywood to size. So I will start by marking 80 centimeters and then 160 centimeters. So this mark right here is the 160, and I'll add 61 to that because that's going to be the piece that goes across of the skeleton. So I'm already thinking ahead for that. So that's going to be 221, and then there's a very small piece left over. I cannot use that piece. So I would like the plywood to be square, so I'm gonna expose the blade of the circle saw and then place it against the wood like this. And you can see that exactly where the edge of the base is, this is also where the wood is. So I can use that as a guide when I cut the wood. And unfortunately I don't have my circle saw guide as yet, but in the future I can do that hopefully with extreme precision, but for now I'm still gonna freehand this. And it's also gonna be the first time I'm gonna use the foldable workbench to cut a piece of 2x4, so that's really exciting as well. Let's see how it goes and if it stays in place. Actually, I'm I haven't tried it yet, so. I need to secure it on the other end because it's moving. I have the clamp at an angle. This is not ideal. I need to make an adjustment to the workbench, but I'll try to do that sometime in the future, but then I want to do everything at once. I have a couple of ideas that I want to improve on, and I'm just stacking them up, so to speak. I made a marking here on this side of the wood, and then I started cutting on the other side. So I'll just carry this around so I know where to stop. Now this went easier than expected on the foldable workbench. So I have a couple of ideas for improvement, but for a first tryout, ain't too bad at all. I'll use the carpenter square as the guide and my jigsaw because I don't want to cut into this piece of wood here because I might use it for another project because I don't have a use for it here. So that's the short of it. I'm just here thinking like the piece of plywood is 61, which is this length here, but it has to attach to the other piece of 2x4, so it needs to be longer than this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and continue this line here with the circle saw, so I have slightly longer pieces, and then when I'm done with it I will just cut off the excess. I just put a scrap piece of wood on top here to protect it from the clamp, because the clamp, the original piece broke off, so if I clamp it into the wood, this is gonna leave a mark, so I don't want that. Now, I was just looking around my scrap wood pile, and I found a few pieces of 38, 3 of them. These are the old legs of a low table that I made some years ago. I broke it down and used the parts for other things, but these are 38. So I was looking for 40, so instead of 40 I'm just gonna go with 38. I found another piece that's exactly 40, so I'm just gonna cut this off to the same length and go with that for this project. So just mark it here, cut it off with the jigsaw. So I want the lowest shelf to be 20 centimeters off the ground. I'm precisely gonna measure 20 centimeters. Then the next shelf is going to be 30 centimeters. So that's why I will mark here for the 50 centimeters. And then the top is going to be here at the 80 centimeters. Now I want to make sure that the position of the wood is exactly right. So I will extend the line using the carpenter square. I'll put everything in place first. Now, and this is the Rietveld connection I was talking about at the beginning of the video. It's such a simple connection and I used it a lot in the past. It just makes sense and I like how it looks. So that's why I wanted to position the wood just right. Now I'll just make a quick marking here so I know where to drill the holes approximately. And I'll repeat this for this side here. And I will take a thin drill and pre-drill the wood. So for this project I will use 2-inch screws. And I want them to just stick through so I can make a marking in the wood where I want to drill the hole. In the past I had also had screws that were just a little bit too short, so I made a short, shallow cut of a wider hole so the head could go lower. So I need to put it in from the same position because I might need to do that again with these screws because they're slightly too short. Alright, so that took a while, especially because I had to take screws back out and put it back in, but we're here. So yeah, next up for this part I want it to be pretty precise, so that's why I will use my carpenter square to make sure that it's as close to a 90-degree angle as it can be, and then I will press it down into the wood, and I also make sure that it's flush against this side here. Now, that seems to be the case here, so I'll press it down to get the markings of the screws, and I'll repeat it here on this side, and I'll make extremely sure that it's at 90 degrees. Okay. So that seems to be the case, so I'll just repeat it here. And this is 90. So 90. So now you can see there are clear markings in the wood, so that's good because then I can just use a very thin drill to pre-drill the wood. Now it's just a matter of looking for the holes, and you will literally feel it when it's in the right spot. Okay, so one side of the storage rack is completed. Yeah, so I'll just repeat it for the other side. So I want that to be 3 shelves, so I'm gonna measure 3 times 38. So this is the first one, 38. I'll just do it like in a couple of places. And I'll start with 1 and then I can use that piece as a template to mark the other pieces. Alright, I will cut this off straight to the best of my abilities. The best of my abilities. Yeah. Good, good. Next up, I'll just mark within which region the screws need to go. So I'll do like a really thin line. When I sand it later, it will come off. Now the thing with plywood is, so if you just drive in the screw like so, you do not need to pre-drill it. If you drive it in from the side, you absolutely need to pre-drill it. And I'll do it like this, so no pre-drilling is necessary. So I'll just, and this is kind of like rough, you know, like, I got two sizes of bits for the screws, and I just finished the smaller size, so this is the bigger size. I like things to be uniform, but I'm not overdoing it, because then it will just end up taking too much time. But like this, it's a small step to make sure that there is like a little bit of uniformity. We can just press it down. Yeah, okay. Oh, so that makes the difference if you just like press it down in the plywood, like so a little bit, and then it catches on right away. Okay, now I'll just repeat it on the other side. For the next part, I'll start at the bottom and work my way up. I just want to make sure that it's at approximately 90 degrees. And like this, it doesn't have a lot of strength yet, but when it's whole lot of shelves together, that will add the total strength. Now, and since the cuts are extremely straight, you can even see it from a distance, like this doesn't look too shabby at all. Now I'm gonna experiment if I can drive in the screw one time, because it goes in pretty deep this time. Oh, easy peasy. Okay. That really simplifies it. And that's exactly why I like to work with screws, because now it's like 5 seconds to take out a piece of wood and giving me space to work, versus not being able to do that. So I think that's a huge plus. So this is more or less the design that I had in mind. The only thing is that without these pieces of 2x2, I think it will look much better. But it's gonna be way stronger with these two pieces of 2x2. And since we're gonna stock some milk cases on top, which are quite heavy, it has to be strong. So I'm gonna opt for strength over style. Still, I'm gonna build with speed, style and strength, because okay, it took me some time to figure this out, but it is all my trademark connections and so forth. And remember, I'm just a dad trying to build some things for the house with speed, style and strength, and so that's what I always tell myself. It ain't perfect by any means, but I like to make the most of what I have available. And right now, this is it, and also like this is my current skill set. I try to up it in the future, but yeah, right now this is it. So yeah, but still, I'm sure it's gonna come out just fine. The only thing I wish I reconsidered was adding the screws in the plywood, because they're not in the right spot at all. So I need to take those out as well. First up, take off the excess wood. Quickly mark it, boom, mark it again. So I'll turn the wood on the side, so I know exactly where to drill, and I can just put in one screw. So I just checked something. I'm gonna use a 3-inch screw to attach the plywood, because then it can go through this piece of wood and into the next one. So that's gonna simplify it. Alright, so that's it as far as the build goes. So now I will do a heavy sanding so it can go into the house, and then we will try it out. And if it works, then in the future I will paint it. So this is it, the very basic storage rack is finished. Like I said, it's very basic, it's also very strong, and you can make it in a really short time. Today it took me a ton of time though, because it's the time of the year, it's almost the summer vacation, and things just take forever. My energy is on the ground, and if I did this when I was fully rested, I think I could do it in about 1 hour. Also, it has been a while since I made one of these. I was spending a lot of time figuring out, like, okay, I was doing it like this, like this, like this, like this. But that's all part of it, and I'm really glad I did it, because it's gonna make a huge difference. It's gonna help to organize things in the house. We're gonna put it in, take it for a test run, and if it works out, then I might paint it, because, you know, that brings out the nicety even more. So the idea is that we're gonna stack some crates of milk on top, and these shelves here, that's where our bags are gonna go. So yeah, quick little organizer, and yeah, I just like the idea of making things myself, and also, you know, because of the versatility, like you can just adjust it if you don't quite like it. And you know, you might think like, boy, it looks a little bit rough with all those screws and stuff, but yeah, during the video you could see, like, when you make a mistake with a screw, you can just unscrew it and screw it back in. And these screws that I use, they're rated for 200 kilograms, so they're like really strong. So that's why I think I could even have used less screws, and I would have had a product that's as strong as it needs to be. Anyways, I'm glad I did it, so I'll put it in the house, and that's it. That's the video. And oh yeah, thanks for subscribing, that makes a big difference. Yeah, thumbs up. I'm happy about this. This works. Alright, time to clean up.